shared the stage with Caitlyn Jenner and Suzanne Summers at Harvard, best-selling author of Finding a Wandering Mind, Dr. Stephen Wander.
By a show of hands, raise your hand if you have kids. Good, I have 3 boys, August, Lucas, Logan. Youngest is a girl, Sophia, first girl in my family since 1921. When I go on a speaking engagement, TV appearance across the country, when I get home, first thing she does is she tilts her head and bats her blue eyes and she says, "Daddy, what'd you bring?" Well, her birthday's next week, so what I'm bringing is a shout out from my audience tonight, Sophia. So on the count of 3, I want you to say, "Sophia, happy 5th birthday, and when you're 10, you get to have gum." So 1, 2, 3.
Sophia, happy 5th birthday. When you're 10, you get to have gum.
Thank you. My name's Dr. Stephen Wander. I like wander around the block, not like Stevie Wonder. I promise not to sing tonight or anything like that. My grandfather, he was from Brooklyn. We called him Pop. And being from Brooklyn, some of the 3 and 4 and 6-letter words that make a movie R-rated, to him, were kind of just like commas. But Pop, he didn't have a formal education, but he taught us life lessons. So maybe you can help me finish some of them. Righty-tighty, lefty. Good. Measure twice, cut.
Once.
Good. If you're going to be stupid, you better be, oh, you don't know that one. Tough. And he always had jokes. Probably the only clean joke I can tell tonight, and it's usually he told it around Christmas time and winter time. How do you tell a snowman from a snow woman? By the snowballs. Matter of fact, being from Brooklyn, the first time I spoke at Harvard, he was like, I mean, I've never been up there, but the standards must be getting lower and lower. They'll let anybody in there now. But 4 years ago, Pop wasn't Pop. No more jokes. You looked into his blue eyes, nothing looked back. Matter of fact, he walked up to me one time and he said, "Hey, how you doing? I'm Aaron Wander. What's your name?" And after that, I said, I need to go to his next doctor's appointment. I went to the appointment with my family. The doctor looked over his glasses and he's like, "Guys, Aaron has Alzheimer's. Get him a power of attorney. Get his affairs in order. We need to speak to his caretaker. There's no treatment." My family looked at me. They said, "Well, you're a doc. What should we do?" And I kept hearing in my head over and over again, there is no treatment. There is no treatment. There is no treatment. And I was like, is there some secret code? Some special formula, like the recipe for Coca-Cola in a vault on care for Alzheimer's? I said, that can't be right. So I started to do some research. And I found there is a protocol that is 92% successful in reversing cognitive decline in Alzheimer's. Over 3,000 people since 2014 have reversed their condition with this protocol. By the year 2050, 160 million people will be diagnosed, and deaths have gone up 123% in the 15-year span from 2000 to 2015, making it now the 3rd leading cause of death. And during my speech here tonight, 5 people will be diagnosed with Alzheimer's. 1 person every 65 seconds. The FDA hasn't cracked the code. There has not been a drug approved for Alzheimer's since 2003. So those of you who raised your hand when I asked, did you have kids? Think about how old your kids are now and how old they were in 2003. Pfizer hasn't found any secret formula. They laid off their entire Alzheimer's division this year, laying off over 300 employees because they said we are wasting money. There's a small school out on the West Coast, maybe you've heard of it, Stanford. They said the researchers need to put their research in a different direction because nothing is working to slow onset and delay the progression of neurodegeneration in the brain. There is objective data which can actually show you, do you have any degeneration in your brain now, 30 to 40 years in the future before you have any symptoms. Here's another life lesson from Pop. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of? That's right. Early detection, it's told, with proper diagnosis and proper treatment will save us $8 trillion with a T. Trillion. It's not age-related as a lot of people think. This summer I spoke at Harvard, star of The Apprentice, George Ross. He'll turn 91 next month. Sharp as a tack. And the results, when you apply the proper formula with the proper code, are miraculous. People going back to work, people recognizing their kids, people recognizing their grandkids. And I've taken my entire professional life and dedicating it to making sure that your parents and your grandparents and your kids don't suffer from this disease.